This is part 1 of episode 99, Amateur Logic's 2016 Closeout Special, recorded December 31st, 2016. Hi, welcome to Amateur Logic, episode 99. I'm George.
I'm Peter.
And I'm Mike.
And we've got our, we're from 3 different countries here tonight. Tommy is not with us because he was in a 4th country earlier. He's been over in the UK. Over the holidays. We think he may be back in the U.S., but we told him, if you want to show up tonight, if you can, well, come on. But we don't really expect him because, I imagine he's going to have quite a bad case of jet lag.
Yeah, and look, there's always a possibility that he's been arrested over there for something to do with the American Revolution. You know, you guys didn't want to pay your taxes, so but hopefully he's gotten back.
Yep, hopefully so. Well, Mike, it's good to have you with us tonight. What have you been up to lately?
Not too much. Spending some time with the family and doing the holiday thing. It's been snowing off and on pretty much nonstop for the last 3 days. We've probably got 30 to 40 centimeters of snow on the ground, which is about, 1.5 to 2 feet. So everything's nice and white around here. Wow.
No snow down there, Peter?
No snow down here. Far from it. We've had a streak of a number of 30 degree plus Celsius days, which would be like, 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And so it's been very warm here. And as we do, we have a typical sort of hot weather Christmas where the best thing is arguably the prawns. And I've feasted on a big pile of king prawns this year, which is absolutely delicious. Wow. Apart from that, spending time a bit with the family, and also been doing a little bit of soldering on and sort of repair work on my metal detector, which I'm trying to make a little bit lighter.
Prawns on the Barbie?
I just like to buy them pre-cooked and then just eat them straight out of the shell without actually heating them up, and they're absolutely delicious. Okay.
Well, we just want to remind everyone that whenever we're shooting live, we've got a chat room going. AmateurLogic.TV/chat. There's a group of folks in there having a good time right now, and we'll probably check in with some of them throughout the show here tonight. Oh, yeah, there's something I wanted to do, being that it's New Year's Eve, and things are kind of headed downhill already. I thought I would...
Oh, this early?
Well... I'm going to try.
I'll just go grab something to drink as well, okay? Back in 2 minutes, George.
All right. What I have got here is Mezzo Corona, and I don't know anything about it. You know, I'm not much of a wine drinker. The guy at the liquor store said, well, you might like that, so we'll see if I do. Yeah. No, it's not. It's a Renee. Anyway, it wasn't the cheapest wine they had. And, I didn't cheap out this time and go with one that had a cork in it. I got a real screw on top this time. So no fuddling with those, messy corks. There's Emil.
Hello, Emil.
Hello, guys.
Cheap old man.
Cheap old man New Year's resolution. How's the resolution?
That's not bad. Can you turn your phone sideways? There you go.
Better?
Wow. Having a good time?
Oh, man, this is a crazy party, man. I'm serious. There's like 3 bands and DJs. It's spread out across the whole hotel.
Tell us where you are.
Can you hear me okay? There's a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you well. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So where are you?
I'm in the Contemporary Resort in Orlando, Florida, in Disney World.
And, I guess it's 10:25?
Yeah, that's right. It's about 10:25 here, and they are just getting started, unfortunately. This is going to be a long night, morning, etc.
So, did you find a cheap wine?
I did happen to find a cheap line. The 4G network here is really good. The hotel is behind me here, and I can't quite hit the Wi-Fi out here in the courtyard, so I came out by the big Christmas tree.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we tried to call you a while ago, and that's not bad resolution there, considering how many people are probably sharing that Wi-Fi with you.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think I have too many bars on the 4G either, so it's working pretty good from what I see.
I have to say I'm impressed with the quality of the video coming from your phone there, Emil. It's pretty good considering the situation you're in, nighttime and everything.
Yeah, this is a part of some of the Christmas presents there. Peter, on this side, my wife upgraded the plan so she included a Samsung S7 Active, and it's a really powerful phone from what I see.
Yeah, it's great. By the way, let me wish you Happy New Year from the future, because I'm here in 2017, and you're back there in 2016.
Oh wow, we're spanning years here, George. Same to you, Peter.
Yeah, it's
thank you.
A time warp. I'm pouring a little glass of the screw-on cap wine here.
Yeah. I've got my webcam hooked up to my TARDIS. That's how it's working.
So
how
far are you into it already, Peter?
Well, it's 2:26 p.m. in the afternoon here in Melbourne, so January 1st. So we're already, I've already been to bed, had a sleep, and woken up. So, yeah.
Nice. So I'm sure they're waiting for the ball to drop in New York on this side, huh, George?
I think so. What are they going to drop down there? A mouse or what?
I'm hoping that's not the case, but I did see a big disco ball in the dance room with Mickey ears on it, so I'm having a feeling it might be the disco ball that's with some Mickey ears over.
Now, you haven't seen Rockin' Ray, have you?
I have not seen Rockin' Ray. He's not on the stage yet. But this is huge as far as venue. He could be anywhere, George.
He could be. He could be.
Yeah. Are you actually in the park in Disneyland? Disney World proper, or are you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, this is the Magic Kingdom. I don't know if you can see it. That's the Contemporary Resort, which is a resort that's right in or on the side or adjacent to Magic Kingdom. Let me see if I can show you the castle here.
Are there people dressed up as the Disney characters wandering around?
No, this is not really a character show. It's more of an adult New Year celebration. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get to the... might get noisy here. Tell me if you want me to mute. Maybe I can turn the camera around. I don't know if you can see it back there. Tell me if you can see it.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
You probably can't hear us. So what?
I don't know how to zoom with Skype.
I don't know either.
Of course, though, I take it Florida time is 1 hour ahead of Mississippi time. So you're going to have, New Year's an hour earlier than Mississippi.
That's correct. That's right. We're a little bit ahead of them on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, I can't hear George if he's saying something.
No.
Hold on a sec. I got to get away from that music.
I don't blame you. I'd run too.
That's not quite the rendition that's going on in the actual thing. That's a band outside.
Yeah. Peter, what kind of beverage are you enjoying?
Quiet enough.
Sorry, George?
What kind of beverage are you enjoying?
This is a diet Coke. I'm just going with the soft stuff tonight.
Okay. That works.
And I'm also seeking maybe we might get sponsorship from Coca-Cola. You never know. They're just up the road in Atlanta.
So
you don't really want to ask me that question, George.
what type of adult beverage are you enjoying, Emil?
I don't think there is one I haven't tried yet, George.
Okay.
Yeah, don't mix the drinks, Emil.
Obviously, they're all free.
Yeah. This I can absolutely say for sure, without a doubt, is not Cheap Old Man Compliant Party.
Yeah, we didn't think so. Boy, looks like y'all are having a big time there. Well, we don't want to hold you too long.
Okay, I did want to mention one thing. I noticed while being on the property here, there is a Disney amateur radio club. They call it the Deers, or Disney Amateur Radio Emergency Service, and it actually spells out ears if you look at it, which is pretty cool. They have a D-Star repeater, an analog repeater, an Echo Link, you name it. So you could actually connect up to that one remote. Also DMR, from what I understand. But you can connect up remote and talk to some of the people in the park. Pretty cool service.
Yeah, that does sound cool. Well, you have a happy new year, and boy, maybe you will get to see a Rock and Ray's performance before the night's out.
If I get to see it, I'll record it for sure. Okay, guys?
All right.
Happy New Year to you guys.
Happy New
Peter.
Year. See ya.
George.
7-3.
73.
Well, that was cool. That was very cool.
That was very, very cool, George, and particularly when you consider that it wasn't, well, it's within my memory when, those kind of outside broadcast connections were only possible with some very high-end equipment. And if you go back even further, there's a time when it wasn't even possible. But it just shows you with a phone you can now do an outside broadcast from anywhere in the world. Cheers! Happy New Year, everyone!
Yeah. Since we've got 2.5 more hours to go, I'm just going to kind of have to sip it. By the way, being that I got the wine there, I wanted to enjoy some cheese with it. So I got some fine Cracker Barrel pre-cut cheese.
Ah,
so I don't have
pre-cut. I've never heard of that before.
It's cut for cracker size, and I've got only the best Ritz crackers.
Nice.
So I'll have a little snack along with my wine as we go throughout the night here.
Yeah, we've got Cracker Barrel cheese down here in Australia, and I think it's probably owned by Kraft, which of course is a multinational. But I've never seen it pre-cut that way. So you can buy slices, which are bigger, but never pre-cut for crackers. And I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen it.
Now, do you have any snow up there at the moment, Mike?
Oh, yes, we have lots of snow right now. About 30 plus centimeters on the ground.
Wow. So how do you, are the roads cleared by anybody, or how do you get around?
They do a pretty good job out where I'm at. I saw the snowplow go by about 3 or 4 times throughout the day.
Mm-hmm. Do you know, I was watching some really cool videos on YouTube of Shinkansen, the high-speed train in Japan, going through snow and clearing it as it went. Not at high speed. Yeah, not at high speed, but still at a respectable speed. And it was like blowing 30 centimeters of snow either way. But they also have special machines that run up and down the tracks to keep them clear as well.
All right,
I wouldn't want a derailment at the speeds that those trains travel. No. I know our trains up here have kind of a snowplow attachment that they'll put on the front of the engine and to keep the tracks clear, but it's not doing anything near the speeds that those high-speed rail trains are.
Oh, the other thing is, you said you got snow. Are there any moose near where you live, Mike?
Not too far away. A lot of deer for sure. We don't usually the moose tend to hang around the kind of the marshy areas, so I don't see them too often. In fact, I'm just basically at the south of their range pretty much. If I travel, say 30 minutes north, they're all over the place. But where I'm at, I'm pretty much the at the very southern range of where they happen to migrate to.
My sister worked for a while in Banff, which I believe is over on the west coast.
Yes.
And of course, that's snow country up there. And I've seen pictures of moose walking down the main road in the town. So that would be pretty amazing to see.
Well, talking about cold stuff, I've got something here I wanted to mention, and I found it during everything else going wrong here. You know, we've talked about Winter Field Day before, but we didn't know much about it. Well, there is a website, winterfieldday.com. You can learn about Winter Field Day. I didn't know much about it, and apparently it's in January. I thought it had already happened this year, and it has, but, you know, a couple of 2 or 3 hours, it's going to be next year. And so we'll have a Winter Field Day coming up in January. I don't know if we're going to participate yet, but it's a interesting thought.
I think they need to move the ARRL field day to September or October.
I think so. I think that would be good. So what about you, Mike? Are you taking the tent out and setting up for field day, you think?
No, I'll take a pass on that. I was, years ago, I was in Cubs and Scouts, and they used to have winter camping, and there's only so many things you can do to keep yourself entertained out that time of year.
Oh, by the way, the Winter Field Day post, that came from John Hyatt over on our Facebook group there. He mentioned that one. Peter, you mentioned, we were talking about maybe some videos we wanted to look at tonight.
Our local hacker groups organised a mini Maker Faire, and of course the Maker Faire over in the US is well known and well attended. So we had a mini Maker Faire down here in Melbourne, our very first one, and I went along to have a look. Hi, I'm Peter from AmateurLogic vidcast that we produce, and you are...
I'm Luke. I'm one of the members of the Melbourne Hackerspace, and kind of partially one of the organisers today. It's been a really good day so far, really successful, lots of people, actually more people than we ever originally anticipated, but it's all been really fun.
Peter! Look,
how are you, Peter?
Yeah, hello, it's Peter, VK3YE. How are you going, Peter?
Good, thanks, Peter.
Well, I see you turned up here for the Maker Faire.
This is called Interview by Ambush, is it?
Interview by Ambush, yeah, for AmateurLogic. This will end up probably as an AmateurLogic Extra. Or
maybe AmateurLogic Extra. Well, have I got a thing for you? But anyway, we better talk about the show.
Show and tell.
We better talk about the show first. We're at Maker Faire in Melbourne.
Oh, no, I've got plenty of...
Mini Maker Faire. It's the first ever show, and it's great. Lots of people doing funny things with electronics, wrecking it, building new stuff out of it, doing all sorts of things that you'd never thought could be done with it.
Absolutely. I'm blown away by the variety of things that are here.
And did you see the remote-controlled blimp thing flying around?
No.
Oh, you'll have a treat. It's in the next room there. All remote control. I think it's got a camera with it, so it could... Well, it's probably connected to Wi-Fi or something.
Yeah, now you would be, I don't know if you're aware, but I built one of your regenerative radios.
Really? Which one?
This is the single valve. I think it was a 12AU7.
Oh yes, that's right.
And so I built that for one of, and it worked a treat, which is great. Now, in case people aren't aware, of course, you actually have a series of videos on YouTube where you build lots of stuff, basically, and go out and...
That's right, operate portable.
Yep, so they can search on what, VK3YE?
VK3YE into YouTube and they'll find it.
Okay, right. Well, come on, tell us.
Okay, well, you might have seen this on one of the YouTube videos, but this is actually a small QRP transceiver for 40 metres.
Wow.
It's CW, puts out about 100, 200 milliwatts. As you can see, it's just powered by Energizer batteries, 6 volts, and it's built in a common food container you can get from the supermarket, and it's great for building this sort of stuff.
Wow.
We'll even take it out of the box. Here's a little Morse key, which I'll show.
And it does receive as well?
It does receive as well. It is a transceiver, so you can switch from receive to transmit. That's the on button. Plug your antenna in there, or a little antenna coupler, and your crystal earpiece, like the old earpiece that people use with crystal sets, just plugs into here. Now, inside, it's really easy to get at if you want to service it. At the centre is the tuning capacitor. Here you'll find 2 crystals for 7030 megahertz. Reason why it's 2 is it increases the frequency pulling range. Now, a lot of people build crystal controlled rigs and they're very limited because they're usually on the one frequency. Well, with this one, you can go all the way from 7005 to 7028. So over 20 kilohertz swing, which is most of the CW end of the band.
Okay, and what do you use for an antenna with this?
For an antenna, usually an end-fed wire, about 20 metres long. Now that's high impedance, so you do need an L-match antenna coupler, but I've got a little one that plugs into here. Inside, you've got the VXO, which is one of the transistors here. Then you've got another transistor, that's the VXO just here. You've got RF chokes in series, which allow your frequency shift to be increased. Another transistor underneath all that is the buffer. Here's our final transistor, a 2N3053, and that goes right to that's the transmit receive switch. And in here, it's all very small, but a very simple receiver.
And yours?
Nicole.
Hi, Nicole. How are you going?
Good, thanks.
What's it all about? Tell us a little bit about what you're displaying here.
So I'm from an organisation called RoboGals. And we're a student-run volunteering organisation to promote females in engineering.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
So what we do is we go out to primary schools and high schools across Victoria, and we teach the girls in the primary schools and high schools how to use these NXT robots. So we run robotic sessions for them, teach them a little about what engineering is, the prospect of females going into the field of engineering, and also just letting them have a play around and having a bit of program about what the robot is and what it does.
Yeah, hi Peter, I'm Jonathan. We're from Freetronics. We're a company that designs and manufactures open hardware. Most of our products are based on the Arduino line, so we have a number of boards that are compatible with Arduino. For example, there is an 11 somewhere around here. We've got so much stuff I can't find it, which is equivalent to an Arduino Uno. But we also have a whole lot of variations, our own ideas and twists and takes on it. For example, we have a board here called the Ether 10, which is like an Arduino it's basically an Arduino with built-in Ethernet.
What are we doing? Is this a MakerBot or?
Yeah, this is a MakerBot. This is actually just our MakerBot we brought along that we put together.
Looks a bit more sturdy than the usual MakerBots I've seen. This one's not made out of wood.
Actually, what happened is I didn't really fancy the look of the wood ones. So I spray painted this. This is actually the same MakerBot that you saw over there. I got automotive metallic silver paint and this metallic blue paint and sprayed all the parts before assembling it, so it really looked more like a machine.
Hello, Peter.
G'day, it's Jim. How
G'day, Peter. Oh, very well, thank you.
It's good. I see you've come to the Maker Fair here.
Yes, I certainly have, yeah.
Okay, what do you think so far?
Oh, very interesting. I hope it catches on and they have one every year.
Oh, look, it looks terrific and the turnout's great. And,
yes.
This is basically about upcycling. I'm mainly looking at steampunk upcycling, but upcycling works for anybody. It's taking waste and seeing the creative potential in it. So reusing waste things, so old computer cases to make shelves.
Okay. Yeah, this is, it says
the goal of the software and the microcontroller is to keep it upright, keep the platform horizontal. That's all it does. So I'm going to wander off. So that's just trying to keep the platform more or less horizontal.
Well, it's been a great mini Maker Fair, and I have to say it looks like it's been an unqualified success. And look, I hope they run again next year. Lots of people attending.
even at this late stage, they're closing in about half an hour and it's still full of people, so that's great. So thanks to the organisers of the Mini Maker Fair and to everybody that appeared on camera. Cheers.
Peter, I really like that Maker Fair stuff there. You know, I consider myself a little bit of a maker, but we didn't call it that when I started doing it.
That's right.
We just called it building things.
Well, I was rather intrigued with the 3D printers. I don't know if you've seen them at all, but the MakerBots and the there's various other models now available in kit form. You can actually build a 3D printer that will actually create a 3D object in plastic. That was so much fun to make that particular segment, and I must admit I haven't been back to the Maker Fair, but it has been continuing on year after year, and the good news is they've actually moved it a little bit closer to where I live. So it came up in about March, so I might make a note to actually go along and have a look at this year's Maker Fair. But it's great. It's great to run into people like Peter, VK3YE. Do go out and check out his videos. They are great.
Yeah. That looked like, I don't know, looked like a big time, Peter. I think I'd have to go back.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. That was I believe the first one, which was 2012. I'm sure it's probably gotten a lot bigger then, and it looked like a lot, but it was actually in a relatively confined space. So we'll make a point of going in and having another look and seeing how it's progressed. Okay,
Mike, do y'all have anything like that around there?
There was a Maker Fair, I think, last summer in Toronto, but I've never attended one. It looks like a lot of fun though.
Oh, it does. We haven't had one around here, so I don't know if we will. Tommy and I just kind of have to make our own stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, George, there's something I wanted to ask you about, but you'll need to bring up the our Google Plus page if you can do that.
That's the one right over here by my house.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to say, unfortunately, Mike sort of stolen my thunder, but if you then go and look at my email that I sent you and the particular cell phone tower that I discovered on my trip around the world, oh yes, you see, I presume that's a cell phone tower as well.
Probably.
Looks like it. Yeah, must be a really big cell phone tower.
Where is that?
I believe that was in Washington.
Oh, well, that may not be a cell phone tower, Peter.
Sure, well, it sure looks like the other one.
Well, it does. There might be a national monument there. I would ask Mike about it, but he may not know since he's from another nation.
Definitely some confusion there. Well, maybe you've got it around the wrong way. Maybe, in fact, the thing that you think is a cell phone tower is some kind of monument to something.
I don't know.
That doesn't look like. Sorry, that doesn't look like a cell phone tower that we would have in Australia.
It doesn't look like one we'd have around here either, but I swear it's like 2 miles that way. It's toward Tommy's house, sort of over my shoulder there.
There must be a story around how that got built.
It's built in a city that the mayor is real picky on what they can build there.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So, yeah, that's the only reason they spent that kind of money on it, I know. Because otherwise they couldn't have sited it there, I'm sure.
Oh, well, it's impressive.
They've gotten pretty creative with those aesthetically pleasing cell phone towers. And if they're in sensitive areas, it seems like it depends on the area that they're proposing to install them, but they get a lot of resistance from the locals.
Yeah.
And we have some up here that actually look like giant white pine trees.
Oh, we've got some here that kind of look like pine trees too, not white, but they look more like a bottle brush really than they do a tree. But
I've seen some in the city of Melbourne, or rather in the suburbs of Melbourne. I've seen a couple of cell phone towers that have been put on tops of churches. So I don't know if you've ever seen anything like that.
Yeah, I think I have now that you mentioned it. We've got one more video here, Mike. This is, we'll talk about it after it's done with here, but right now we want to present Amateur Logic Half-Speed Theater. Another fun show. We won't do this again till next year.
Yeah. It'll be here before you know it, though. You know, time flies.
It will be here.
So here, catch this.
Yeah, it's not charged yet. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do for New Year's yet. I'll have to come up with something now.
Yeah. Well, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
We'll see you next year.
Hanukkah. Happy New Year.
All those things. Whatever you celebrate, and be careful and enjoy.
Insert your holiday here.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
73.
Mike, what can we say about that?
I got to give Chip K9 MIT some credit there because we sent each other a lot of emails back and forth, and he was playing around with I think 2 times speed, and I commented back. I said, "You think that's funny? You should try it at half speed." But
wow.
Yeah, it certainly puts a new spin on that, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It sounded like we had a few too many. Well,
it does.
Do not try to cure this ham. It's Arnie. Hi, Arnie.
Hello.
What?
How are you doing?
Hey,
there
doing
he
pretty
is.
Good. Well, I like the hat there.
Thank you. My wife gave it to me. We didn't have any real, nice hats that she had when we were young.
So, of course, you live in Mississippi now. You're K5ARN. But you don't have the typical redneck accent.
But it is my northern accent, or maybe northern southern accent, I should say.
Okay.
Actually, I have a friend here in Columbus, and when he introduced me to his friends, he say, "Arne, he is a southerner. He is from southern Sweden."
Southern Sweden. So what year did you come to the U.S. and make your home here?
Yeah, I came here in 1984 on a 3-year contract to be a project manager and build some chemical plants. And then I stayed there for another plant, and now it's well over 30 years.
Oh, wow. So you obviously must have liked it.
Oh, yeah. We have raised our family here. We have had a really good time in Columbus and had a lot of friends and so on.
So,
sorry, after you, George, yep.
So, do you still make it back to Sweden?
Not that much. The last 5 years I worked for the company. I was actually stationed here in Columbus. That was my home office, so to say. But I did the work in Sweden and in the Netherlands. So for 5 years I flew every month to Europe. So I'm kind of fed up with flying. So actually, I didn't go abroad at all last year.
Wow. Peter?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm just going to ask you, Arnie, have you got any bottles of Yule-Mist there?
What?
I think you said Yule-Mist. It's Swedish.
Yeah,
Yule-Mist.
yeah. No, I don't have any Yule-Mist. I think
apparently you can buy it. Yeah, it's delicious. I only found out about it a couple of weeks ago at a Scandinavian Christmas bazaar.
Yeah, I know that you can probably buy it on the internet here in the US.
You can get it at IKEA, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they have an IKEA in Memphis now, so we have to go there and have some meatballs and lingonberry jam.
Yep, and what is it, meatballs?
Yeah, meatballs. Swedish meatballs. When we're talking about Swedish meatballs, we we have started to be very active in our club here. So during 2016, we have had 4 events that we call Radio in the Park. And we go to one of the state parks and we rent a pavilion and then we set up all our radios and antennas and have a lot of fun. And I normally then cook some Swedish meatballs, because hams need something to eat.
I'm sure they'd be delicious. I haven't tried them yet, but I'll definitely have to, because we can get them down at IKEA locally. So I will make a point of going down and giving that a try.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I think when you go to IKEA, they don't charge very much. I think in the US it's $5 for a full meal or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just out of interest, Arnie, do you talk on HF back to Sweden very much?
No, not really. Yeah. No. So I don't have any really good antennas to do it, but it's another activity we did in our club. We are fortunate to have a clubhouse, and we purchased a 100-foot tower, and just a month or 2 ago we put a 3-beam antenna on top of it with a rotator, and then also an antenna for a repeater. So, and it's open for any member. You can go there anytime. You can bring your own radio, and there are a couple of radios in our radio room, and there you can probably do some good connections to Europe. And it's just started, so I think we're going to start to do that together. And next year we're planning to do, instead of radio in the park, we're going to go out and do some camping and try to run on solar power, and wood.
So you have a Swedish call sign as well, don't you?
Yeah, I'm a new ham, you know that. And actually, thanks to AmateurLogic, I made big steps forward. But you are my online Elmers. I got licensed in the US in March 2012, and then I went immediately over to Sweden for vacation, and I contacted what is corresponding to ARRL, called SSA, and I could get a reciprocal call sign, which is SA7CR. SA7CR. And that was not a big thing. You had to be a general or higher.
So
but I have to pay a yearly fee to that organization, and they have a really nice magazine, similar to UST, that I can get on the internet as a PDF file.
Well, we've got a little video here that you sent us. What would you call this event?
It's a little Swedish hemfest. I was inspired actually from you and from Nation. You wanted to have videos, and I brought my video camera to this hemfest, and I had never edited a video or whatever. And I remember I contacted you, and I contacted, I don't remember his name there, that was in charge of the video at Nation. And I sent in, and it was rejected. You need to make it shorter, you need to narrate it. So I worked with it for several days. But I learned a lot about editing, and I appreciate all the hard work it is for you guys to take these that you have live and then edit it and make a program. Because it takes a long time. So this hemfest is a small hemfest in southern Sweden, and it's called Bockebodaträffen. And I'm pretty proud of it myself.
Let's take a look at it.
All right.
Hi, I am Arnie, Kilo 5 Alpha Romeo November. On my visit to Sweden in June, I shot this video about a small hemfest in southern Sweden called Bockebodaträffen. The hemfest is very similar to the ones in the US. The flea market, antennas for sale, tables with boat anchors, maybe not the brands we are used to, but still boat anchors. A lot of stuff. As in the US, a lot of gray hair. There was even the 1987 ARRL handbook to buy for a few dollars. The outdoor tailgate area, or maybe better the trunk gate area. This guy brought the table and his merchandise on his bike and bike trailer. The indoor forum was about wood electronics by Kalmar Radio Amateur Society. Sierra, Kilo 7, Charlie Alpha. Here are some examples of wood electronics. You take a piece of wood, glue the schematics onto it, put thumbtacks in the junctions, and then solder the tubes and other components on the tacks. The indoor vendor area with hundreds of connectors and ports, and not surprisingly the PL259 looks exactly the same, but price includes a steep 25% sales tax. The D-Star Forum was outdoors.
Norway calling, seeking a D-Star listening.
And then the Swedish key, handmade for only $110. The Hemfest is almost over. 7-3 from Arnie, Kilo 5, Alpha Romeo, November.
Arnie, that was your first video to edit?
Yeah.
That was a very good job.
Yep, I agree. Mm.
You know,
very good.
You know, first I just had, you know, like slides with text, and they said, you need to narrate. And then I was thinking, I read everything for like 2 minutes from a script, and I tried probably 15 times, and it never worked. And then I had to do what you really do, cut in small pieces, and then you put the sound to it. So I learned a lot about it, and it was really fun. But so maybe it's going to make another one. I was thinking maybe make another one next year from 1 hour radio in the port.
That sounds like a plan. We'd love to see it. And, you know, I don't know about you, Mike, but doesn't that Hamfest kind of feel familiar?
It's very similar. We have we call them tailgates as opposed to trunk gates, but it's the same thing. People are there's always a section of the flea markets basically outside the parking lots where they basically just haul this stuff in trailers and set up tables outside the normal vending areas. I've never seen those kits though with the wooden platform before. I've never seen that before. That's very interesting.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. The wood electronics.
Looks like a great idea. I mean, I don't know why we haven't seen it before. It's really neat. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna have to do something with that.
I think you know that club there on the southern east coast of Sweden. They're very active. So they normally have like a full project, and the whole club there make these together, you know. And there is one guy that designs them, and actually afterwards he was so impressed of these videos, so he sent me a lot of pictures of other things he has made. And if you go to that, if you go back and look, you have the call sign, and you can search on the internet and search on the homepage, and then you can find some of these samples of really interesting work. But you know, some of these are copies of old one-tube transceivers and receivers that was used by the resistance during World War II in Norway and so on, and Finland. And some of them are really interesting. People were running around with them during full war, you know, and reported stuff over to the Allies.
Wow.
It reminds me of the old crystal radio sets, like you mentioned, where they were actually assembled onto breadboards and wooden planks, and same thing. I think they called them trench radios during the war, where they used to build these things on pieces of wood.
Yeah.
Well, and this is totally unrelated to ham radio, but I've been watching some foreign programs on Netflix recently. A lot of British programs for some reason. And I ran across one named Wallander.
Oh, yes.
And it's supposedly a policeman in Sweden. Of course, everyone on the show has a British accent. I just wondered what you thought about it.
Yeah, but there are Swedish versions of it too.
Yeah. So, it was interesting to see a little, because we don't get to see a lot of Sweden here, particularly on television.
No. So, if you're on Amazon Prime, there is one really nice Swedish new movie I could send you a link about. It's about a 100-year-old man that gets fed up because they put him in a nursing home, and just when they are fixing to come in with a birthday cake with 100 candles, he jumps out through the window, and then he goes through a lot of things. He even ends up in Alamo and helping Oppenheimer to design the atom bomb.
Wow. Is it done in English or is it?
It's in English. You know, it's both in English and Swedish with subtitles. It's really nicely made.
Oh, yeah, send me that link. I'd love to see it.
I will. The 100-year man that stepped out of the window or something. You can Google it, but I'm going to send it to you.
Okay. You sent me a little photo here. I want to bring that up. We'll just talk about this for a second. Tommy and I mentioned it one time. He got the name all wrong when he was trying to read it. This is he tried to call this ham seating chicken, but that's not what it is it?
It's Ham's Eating Chicken.
And this is a club in the Columbus area, or what is it?
It's the club is Lowndes County Amateur Radio Club, and we are like a core group there that meet every Thursday for lunch at Ryan's. That is a buffet restaurant, a cheap buffet restaurant. So we named that session for Ham's Eating Chicken. So we're all hams and we're eating chicken at Ryan's. So then after a while I thought maybe we should register the domain. So I put up this blog and learned how to use it, and it's based on WordPress, and I must say it's really, really easy now for me. And if you go down, I mean, if somebody after the program here want to look at it, there are a lot of pictures from our Christmas party, from our Radio in the Park events, and reminders about the netball and so on. So it's a little like, connect to the club. And people are sending in some information, whatever that they put there.
Okay.
HamsEatingChicken.com.
Ham's Eating Chicken, not Ham's Seating Chicken.
And actually what we do then people complain, we have some people that are working. So then we decided we have our club meeting the first Thursday in the month. And then we said on the Saturday after the first club meeting in the month, we go to Hardy's and have breakfast. And that's the event we call Ham and Eggs.
So what do you do now? Do you have any other hobbies besides ham radio?
I have a dog. We have a lot of stuff to do in the yard, and we do some traveling, and we have children that we visit and so on. But ham stuff is a pretty big portion now. And actually during this year, I got a 12 by 12 steel portable building that I have installed and put heat panels in and electricity and heating and cooling. And I thought we could fill it up with radios and computers.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a lot of the same kind of stuff I like to do.
I know. Yeah. I know where I get the inspiration from.
Don't blame it on us.
No, I don't blame it. I thank you.
Oh. Well,
I can tell you, the amateur radio hobby especially for me. I mean, I didn't know anything about that. I guess I had never seen a transceiver before. I just thought some way you should look into amateur radio, and I studied the book, took the license, the technician, and the general, and then I was hooked. And during these 3.5, 4 years now, I met so many people and made so many friends all over the United States and also in Sweden when I've been there. So it's fantastic. And in the beginning of this year, we went to the Orlando Handcation, and this spring we're going to go to the New Dayton convention place.
Well, I hope
actually we're going to go to these 4 days in May, you know, where they meet the kids, and then you have bus transportation to convention. Sorry.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I hope to make it to Dayton again this year. We saw Mike up there, and first time we'd ever met was, and that's the only way we met really, was sort of through ham radio. The same thing with Peter and you. So it's a great hobby. It connects a lot of people with sort of similar interests.
Yeah, exactly.
So you were talking about hams eating chicken. Have you ever tried Vegemite?
Yes, I have.
What did you think?
Yeah, it's kind of strange, but I could eat it. You need to take it very thinly. I mean, I saw that episode when you opened it up from Peter. And actually then, like a couple of months later, I made this cruise from Miami to Copenhagen because there was people to go with the cruise and flying. And there was a lot of people from Australia there. So they, in the breakfast buffet, they had a little bottle there with or can, what they call it, glass jar with Vegemite. I said, man, I need to try it. But I can tell you that it was a small jar and it lasted the whole cruise. 200 people. But I tried it. And I could eat it, and I can understand it if you are brought up with it. You know, I'm brought up with food from Sweden that I can guarantee you could never eat it.
Well,
and there probably are some vitamins in it too.
Well, it's bound to be. It smells like vitamins to me.
Yeah.
Well, before we cut you loose, Arnie, is anything else in particular you'd like to bring up while we've got an audience here?
No, we all need to work on to get more hams, amateur radio operators, you know, and we're really trying. But we have a couple of young people that have come into the hobby here in Colombia. And I mean, it's too bad that a lot of people are missing this fantastic hobby. Start with it when you're young, and this can be your career path. And then when you're like me, retired, you can have a heck of a lot of fun. There are several people that are just recently retired our club and have a lot of fun. Actually, I had one of them coming to my little handbag today because we are thinking about starting more training over 2 meters. So he's starting to build a little device so he can actually hook up his iPhone and choose one of these training programs. And then at the same time, he can talk over the 2 meter band. So it's going to see if he can get some people to forward. So, and I want to thank you. I mean, I want to thank Tommy and George and Peter and the guys here, you know. This is the 11th year you're doing AmateurLogic, and that is fantastic.
Well,
I've learned so much from what you are doing. So thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to 2017 when we're going to make America great again. And you have a happy new year, all you guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for being with us.
73s.
Thanks, Arnie. That was great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Top stuff.
Yeah, it was. Well, speaking of Vegemite, Peter,
have you looked at the chat room, George?
I have not looked at it, no. They're talking about
whenever that topic of Vegemite comes up, there's always a litany of comments in the chat room about it. I think my favorite tonight is it tastes like liquefied shoes.
I could see that.
I'm not sure how he knows what it tastes like, but
yeah.
Well, George, actually, you know that email that I sent you. The other attachment is actually a post onto Facebook. Yes, that's the one. How to eat Vegemite. That's from VK6ADF from Phil, fellow Australian. And as you can see, put too much on, especially if you're an American, you'll probably end up in hospital. So we Australians, because we're brought up with it from birth, we can take a stronger dose. But so go easy, and also most importantly, use plenty of butter, because it tastes a lot better with butter, real butter, that is.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Well, we'll try to see if we can spur something else along in the chat room here, because I just happened to have that clip, Peter. What everyone has been waiting for tonight, Vegemite or die.
Everyone but two of us, right?
Everyone but two of us, I think you're right.
You think we're going to have enough strength to finish the show after we get through with this?
I don't know. I've never seen any Vegemite, so why don't you open the box?
I Googled it to see a picture of it.
Now, there's actually two other products which I'd like you to sample if you don't mind taking a bite afterwards. But they're much sweeter. So I think you'll, even if you don't like the Vegemite, you'll certainly like these other ones. So,
when you Googled it, Tommy, didn't it say it was processed yeast or something?
Yeast extract.
Yeast extract.
Correct.
That sounds tasty.
Yeah. Now, I've got to give you a word of warning, right? Just use about a dime's worth, okay? Don't spread it on like jam, just a little bit.
This must be the one with the skull and the crossbones on it, and the
Jaffas? Is that what this is, Peter?
Here, see what that is.
They're Jaffas, okay? We have a tradition in Australia of taking them into cinemas with wooden floors and rolling them down the aisles, which is a waste of a good Jaffa, but still. And with the other thing you should have there is Tim Tams, which are just awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it out of the bubble wrap without making too much noise here. It's not working too well.
It's pretty loud.
There you go.
Tim Tams.
Fig Newtons.
Yeah, now they're a chocolate biscuit, and they're like 50% chocolate. So, but they're terrific. So, well worth trying. You will like those.
Okay, cool. Because I'm still, the jury's out on the Vegemite here.
But the Vegemite, you go to YouTube, you'll see, and just Google on Vegemite, you'll see all these Americans trying the stuff, and they always overdo it. They always put too much on.
It's sealed up really well. I think they didn't want it to spill out and cause some kind of a environmental thing.
Yeah. So we wouldn't want a toxic spill in here.
It really is in there good.
There we go. Now,
it looks like vitamins. There we go.
There we go.
Vegemite.
Yeah, now, you'd be surprised how long that will last, because, as I say, you use the stuff very sparingly.
That stuff will probably last forever.
Yep.
Well, Tommy, why don't you do the honors here? It's heavy.
Here we go.
Golly, I might have to go get my wife to open the jar.
Well, it's got a child-proof lock. Is that what's going on there?
Yep, there you go.
Trying to decide what it smells like. To lose my earbud here.
Looks.
All right.
Looks like chocolate.
Dime's worth, Tommy. Just a dime's worth.
I'm gonna save half of the toast to wash it down with. All right.
Sparingly. Yeah. That, a little bit more than that. That's good. Yep. Yep, that's fine. Any more than that, you'll be in hospital.
Chocolate frogs, Mike.
It looks like
says.
chocolate. Here you go. Next victim.
Let's see. Did this get checked by the U.S. Department of Agriculture when imported?
Probably not. But I will say this though: you'll note the name Kraft on the jar. In fact, you Americans actually own our Vegemite. That'll do.
That'll do.
Yep.
I'm not
Yeah,
going to
put
say
enough on there to taste it.
what it looks like when you spread it. Let's see.
There we go.
There you go. So I do have a little bit on there. Is that too thick, Peter?
No, that's fine. Give that a try. That should be
This looks like you can keep your wheel bearings good condition too.
Yeah.
Probably could use it as grease, yeah.
All right.
I got some on my fingers. Is it going to be all right?
Yeah, no, you'd be fine.
It won't take the hide off.
All right, here we go.
There you go.
I'm not. I taste butter.
Because you didn't put any on there. You need to get a quarter.
Here, let me break it off where I can get a bit of it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah,
it's kind of losing my earbud here. It's kind of different.
Yeah,
I'm trying to decide what it reminds me of.
The guys in the UK got something very similar called Marmite, but it's got a slightly different flavour.
I taste it now, and I don't think there's anything that compares with it that I know of.
Yeah, it's probably a bit of an acquired taste, but you'd be surprised how many kids have that for breakfast, on their toast. It's very, very, very popular.
Really?
Yeah, you're talking a national dish here.
By people that love them? Like mothers give it to their children?
Absolutely.
On purpose?
They actually advertise it as having a whole lot of vitamins in it, B group vitamins. It's actually good for you.
Well,
anyway, you might want to try one of the Tim Tams now, which is you'll find a lot sweeter.
You need that?
Maybe not. Let's see.
Now, there's a thing called the Tim Tam Slam you can do, where you get a cup of coffee and you actually bite off the end of the Tim Tam at both ends, and you suck the coffee through the Tim Tam. But probably a bit much to do today.
Do you dip it in the Vegemite, Peter, and then eat it?
No.
No, that one's good.
Mm-hmm.
That is good.
This is like a wafer. What do they call those? They're usually white here, but this one's chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, you can actually get a white chocolate version of that.
Those planks, or whatever they call it. Some kind of plank. Yeah. I thought I was going to need the Vegemite antidote. I brought it here. But looks like I may be able to take that back home with me.
Yep. Well, so do you give the Vegemite a thumbs up or a thumbs down or quiet?
I give it a thumb sideways. I'm not really sure about that one yet.
Yeah. It's I'll put it this way, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I guess it would be an acquired taste. It's really stout, but I don't know what to compare it with.
I would, I could see it almost had a little bit of something was. I almost liked it, but I'm not really sure. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You could eat it if you were stranded on a desert island,
Australian island.
Yeah. Somebody's asking, is there a difference between Marmite and Vegemite? And the answer is yes. They're very similar, but they do have a slightly different taste. So those things, though, they're like a big Kit Kat, basically. Probably the best way to put it. And the final thing you've got there, which is your Jaffers, they're basically a chocolate ball.
It's like a malted milk ball.
Not quite.
The Vegemite kind of reminds me of like it almost had a beer taste, but it wasn't really beer. Like, I don't know.
Let me try. I had something on the tip of my tongue a while ago besides Vegemite.
Yeah. Did
you get it off? Is setting in.
It really makes the butter flavor stand out.
Yeah, it does. I really like it on crumpets. You know, crumpets, bit of hot butter,
crumpets,
and then
Jed crumpet.
No, not that kind of crumpet. Yeah, these you would typically buy at a cinema, and on the wooden floors you would roll them down the aisles, which is a waste of a good Jaffa in my view, but still.
Chocolate and orange.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Tastes like Christmas.
Interesting.
And so you throw these down the hall in the cinema, huh?
Yeah, well, you know how you got the aisles between the seats? If you've got a wooden floor, the tradition was that you would roll them down, or the kids would roll them down there, because the cinema was slanted, or you know, at a slight angle, so they'd roll down, you'd hear them rolling down the floor. So, but yeah, that's a bit of a tradition. But yeah, no, very, very popular. Another great Australian product.
I bet that was really popular with the theater management.
Yeah. Well, they probably sold more of them.
Yeah.
Well, Tommy, I say let's split the Jaffas here.
Okay.
I will take the Tin Tams and you can have the Vegemite.
It's kind of different.
Yeah.
Thanks for sending this stuff, Peter. That was that was fun. Yeah. It was pretty cool to experience that. We'll have to get you a care package and send it down there sometime.
You eaten any more Vegemite, George?
No, I have not. That jar expired, and I had to get rid of it.
I'll send you another jar.
Well, there is a website where you can learn more about Winter Field Day. And if I can... Well, I guess I'll just have to click on something. There you go. It's winterfieldday.com. You guys are not supposed to be there in the middle of Winter Field Day.